this countdown goes out to Brian in 5, 4, 3.
And welcome to the podcast, welcome to the vodcast, welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. It's a Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean.
I'm Brian.
And I am Nick. And if this is your first time joining us, let me tell you a little bit about who we are. We are three friends from three different generations. I myself am a Millennial. Dean here is a Xennial, and Brian represents Gen Xers across the globe. And so if you haven't found us yet, please go to YouTube and Facebook and just search for Convincing Idiots. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're also on Instagram at Convincing_Idiots. We are on Twitter at Convincing Idiot with no S. We're on TikTok at Convincing Idiots, or you can reach out to us by email, and that is at convincingidiots@gmail.com. Please like, subscribe on all those platforms. We're also available wherever you like to listen to podcasts. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for another episode. I know Friday night, if anyone watching this may have seen, we were on Facebook Live. We were on there for 2 hours?
It was a long time.
It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. I think and once we were in the rhythm of it, I was like, and Dean was like, well, we can keep going.
I could have kept going all night, honestly.
And granted, that, I felt like, looking back, I'm like, that's not a traditional podcast. So I didn't feel like we were making, it's just kind of bounce in if you want, or if someone gets on Facebook through the night and they see we're on there, they could come talk to us. So it was kind of cool. They could kind of check in and watch for as long as they want.
I definitely want to do that again.
Yeah, it was cool. I really enjoyed that. I think next time we'll have more topics prepared.
Yep.
I think maybe we banked a little bit much on, just talking with people, and there was a lot of that, but we'll definitely have more of, I think, an aimed subject matter next time. But definitely a lot of fun. It was good having you guys over and hanging out with you guys in person this weekend. Yes. So that was very cool. Mm-hmm. So as we enter this week, Brian, since I saw you on Friday night, what have you been up to? What's new with you? What's up, Dean?
No, Brian. Yes, go ahead and answer the question there, Brian. I will go next. He was about to do a round robin, I guess.
No, you go ahead, Dean. Then it's fine. You go ahead.
No, I just wanted to. I'm not going to tell you what I've been doing because it's none of your fucking business.
I know you're always doing the same things. I know what you're doing.
No, actually, what I just said there. It's what I wanted to bring up. I did go back and watch the Facebook live video.
All 2 hours of it?
Not all of it.
Okay.
I jumped around, but I did see myself on there, and I guess I realized, and I need to change. I want to apologize to the listeners out there
for the hat and the shirt.
No, I actually enjoyed those. You can take a short walk off a long beard, or a long walk of a short beard. I messed that up.
Well, yeah, that sounds. This is a night. I don't think I'm going to take the whole beard. I think that's good for now.
That's
just a little short one.
Nice evening.
It does. It really does. Thank you, Dean. I think I will take you up on that. Thank you.
Well, see, that's what I'm getting at. Is I think that I'm going to curb my language from now on because. I think I curse too fucking much, and I don't need to just keep going with the shit that I say. You know what I mean? I think that I think I take it too fucking far. So I definitely really want to fucking apologize for this shit that comes out of my fucking mouth. And so going further, I will wash my fucking mouth and try not to talk as much shit. Well, Brian, I noticed that, and that it's just coming from my fucking heart, Nick. I'm just saying.
I was gonna say, Brian, I don't know about you, but I think I've already seen a changed man.
Mm-hmm.
I can already tell the difference.
I feel better, lighter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like we can stock up less on the Lifebuoy soap, Nick. I think.
Is that the soap that you make him drop?
It was like a Christmas Story reference. I don't know. Anyway.
You're gonna wash my mouth out with soap. Okay, yes. You can put it away because I am changing my fucking ways. So cheers to changing my ways.
To a reformed Dean.
To reform.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, we're all having fun with this. We're all evolving and trying to make this as entertaining as we can. And certainly we're not going to lose the making fun of each other and having fun with us as we go, certainly. So anyway, hey, thank you, sir. All right.
So Brian, how are you?
I am good. Well, since we had a great night Friday, and
how in the hell are you?
That was good, and it was nice hanging out afterwards and just chilling for a few hours and relaxing. And I did get my first vaccine shot on Saturday. I know, Dean, you had yours at work.
That's right.
I had to drive about an hour to get one, but that was perfectly fine. And I'm going to commend the Carrollton, Ohio Rite Aid out there. I was extremely impressed. They were very organized. They had people constantly coming in. They kept things safe. They kept things at a nice distance. It was very easy. They had a check-in table right there. They guided you back. They had chairs set up, already spaced out. Wait your turn. Very orderly, very calm.
How long did it take you once you got in the door?
Like no less than 30 minutes.
That's not bad at all.
No, not at all. And then he kind of hung out a little bit and left. He,
I waited for an hour in a line of cars.
Yeah. I was didn't know I had to go inside, but so that was a good experience. So kudos to the staff out there at Rite Aid in lovely Carrollton, Ohio. Nice. My mom went with me just to give me support and take a nice car ride down. So it was a nice afternoon spending time with mom as well. So hurt a little bit. I was a little bit warm coming back, but nothing crazy. It was fine and perfectly great.
Did you get tired at all?
Nope.
Okay.
The second shot.
That one might hit you like the first one hit me.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear a little bit. So, and as we were filming this right now, Matt Christinger, our top fan, him and
number
Sarah,
one fan,
Matt, just advised me he received his pack of stickers that I mailed him as Convincing Idiot stickers. So,
cool, awesome.
Matt, we'll get you on here. We were experimenting with another app and had to go back to Skype tonight, but we'll coordinate, get you on here, sir. So,
don't we love to experiment with each other?
That's right.
Do.
How about you, Nick? What you been up to since Friday, sir?
Oh, let's
Besides
see.
looking sexy.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. I hung out with some family this weekend, and I made Sunday evening. I made my first venture back into the public sporting event world.
Oh, yes, you went to the Cavs,
yes,
right?
A buddy of mine, my Toronto Raptors were in town here.
And they lost to the Cavs, right?
Yeah, big time. Oh, my God, yeah.
How in the hell does that
They've lost
bad
like
are the
9
Raptors?
I don't think they've won a game since the All-Star break. They've lost like 9 in a row.
Wow.
So, yeah, but it was important to me. One of my favorite players, my favorite player of all time, Kyle Lowry, there's been discussions of him potentially being traded. He's going to be an upcoming free agent. He's older, so I wanted my last I don't know if otherwise I would have gone out to a public sporting event just yet, but it was really important to me thinking that maybe this could potentially be one of the last chances I have to see him in a Raptors jersey. So I got tickets. Let me tell you, right now is actually a pretty good time. I also, like you commended Carrollton Rite Aid, I will commend the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse and the entire staff, the Cleveland Cavs, the whole thing. Very safe. Nobody around. Now, mind you, I was there on a Sunday night, but man, you don't. Even taking tickets, like you slide your phone. I felt like a Gen Xer, like how you must feel when you go, how does all this work? How does all this technology work? There's this little like slot. There's this little pillar that stands, and that is the ticket taker. Slide the barcode for your phone in the slot, and it scans it. Nobody touches you. Nobody, whatever. It's just you're in there. It was very cool. But then it was great. All the seats, like our individual seats that I purchased off of SeatGeek, were they had like the orange, like that you would use like the ties, almost like they had the clips that you tied something down in your truck or something like that. They had ties across the seats, so you couldn't even fold them down. Like you literally, I mean, you could unclip it, but you couldn't go sit in a seat that wasn't purchased.
I see.
So only seats that had been
I was wondering about
unroped.
that. Okay.
So it was pretty interesting. So our seats were the two, and I mean everything behind it, everything beside them. We were in the first row of the upper deck there, so with great seats and everything. I think I paid $8 per ticket plus a $5 service charge for the first time in my life of going.
You got ripped off
for the first time in my life of going to any concert or sporting event, anything. We didn't even pay for parking in Cleveland. The lot that we went to was free on Sundays, and it was right across from whatever the Progressive Field, or if that's still what it's called, where the Indians play, or the Cleveland baseball team plays. Right across the street from there, so it wasn't a far walk. It was a nice night. The weather was beautiful. I mean, the beer was the most expensive part for us, but the night on a whole was very inexpensive, and it was a good time. So, I felt very safe. Felt it was a really good time, and it was actually really nice. No lines for bathrooms, no lines to get beer. Everything was very accessible and cool. So,
awesome.
So
that's great.
Dino.
So it felt like if I may, they had like 2,000 people in there or so, right, Nick? Give or take.
Yep.
So it had probably a feel of the pre-LeBron James cast.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That's not even a joke.
No.
Not even a joke.
Well,
yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, growing up a hockey fan and stuff, we went to, at the time, their minor hockey team was the Cleveland Lumberjacks. At that time, we're talking, mid to late '90s into the early 2000s.
Did they outsell
that
them?
Team drew more on a nightly basis than the Cleveland Cavaliers did at that time. Pre LeBron, but yeah, I mean, they definitely for sure were feeling that.
Yeah, they definitely tanked it big time that year, trying to get that number one pick for LeBron. Luckily, it worked out for them. But yeah, that season or two there was pretty terrible up there. Well, good. I'm glad you had a good time. And the Cavs are playing better. They're an up and coming.
Yeah, man. Team. So, that Colin Sexton, man, he was drilling threes from everywhere. I mean,
he's a good pickup.
He was
good draft.
Playing real well.
Yep. Well, very good. Excellent. All right.
Dino, what about you? What have you been doing since our virtual house party on Friday?
Nothing. No, actually, I don't know on the YouTube video if you can tell, but I went out to Ignite Brewery the other day for a couple beers. Sun was out, and we sat on the patio. Once again, safe, very safe.
Sunday was nice, yeah.
Oh my God, beautiful. But we were there 2 hours in the sun, so my face is really red, and it kind of itches now, and I got sunburn. And I don't care for that.
Yeah, it's a little red.
Yeah.
But I must have missed the invite. I must have had my phone off or something.
Yeah.
No, it's
airplane mode. Well, airplane mode will get you every time, man.
We were setting up a new TV here. Allie and I I got a new TV, and Allie she's just so incredibly patient with me. Boy, I tell you, I was not thrilled that I couldn't get it to work properly. Yeah, that it really is. It really is. So she offered to get me a beer while I was talking to Amazon customer service, and so that was.
Well, she's not being nice. It's like putting a pacifier in a damn baby's mouth.
It is. It is. Well, we got it set up. It looks great, so I'm very happy with that. Good deal from.
What kind of TV you got? What brand you go with?
I got an Insignia from Best Buy. It's a 4K. I wanted to get a better quality high def. I have an older model. I've had it for like 13 years. Okay. It's just time to upgrade. So. Very happy with it. And
what size?
55 inch.
Nice.
Yes, okay, there you go.
Good.
Yeah. So probably could have got a bigger size. I don't know, but it fits the room well and everything. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
And on that television this weekend, we're going to segue right into our topics here. So, Allie and I watched the first episode of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Hold on.
Yes.
Yes.
When you did watch it, because there's a lot of things to watch these days.
Yes.
One thing that you probably before you go and watch like the Falcon and Winter Soldier, you should probably watch your finances. If I were you, and
you know what, you're right.
You know how I watch my finances?
How do we do that, Dean?
I actually go to get my insurance from Blake Insurance.
Yes. Yes.
Actually, I just got my policy packet in the mail today. And I'm saving, I think it's a few $100 comparative each year, comparative what I did have. So let me tell you a little bit about this. Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. I don't know if you know where we're from. Right here, right outside of Akron, Barberton, Ohio. They offer auto, home, renters, business, or life insurance. Life insurance, very important, especially for, gentlemen getting up in age.
That's right. That's right.
Erie Insurance is above all else in service, I tell you. So you call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com. Your free I said free. Other places, they're going to charge you for the quote. Nope, he's giving you a free 5 minutes. That's all it takes. 5 minutes. You get your free quote today.
Excellent. Excellent.
Now I gotta say, Aaron Blake, he'll insure anything. He'll give you insurance on anything. One thing that Mr. Blake would not need to give you insurance on is a Segway, because Dean, my friend, that Segway was so smooth as butter.
That's good.
No insurance, no policy,
like butter.
That's good.
No policy needed.
That's good.
Although he might need to give you some insurance on some of the chest meat that's going on there. You're getting a little dangerous there.
You be careful. There's some things we're not allowed to say these
You're
days.
getting dangerous.
What? No. Did that come with when the day you turn 40? You're like, no more undershirts under button-ups, all chest hair, like half of it done. On a beautiful day like this, sometimes you just feel it, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Okay. And I know there's some girls, the ladies are watching, so gotta give them something,
right?
I mean, Brian's covering up his massive pectoral business going on there. He's like, actually, I work out, but I ain't showing off the goods. I at least got to do something for the ladies or fellas. I don't discriminate.
Yeah, we need to increase the female demographic, that's for sure. I think we're 60-something.
Hold on. Just did it.
There you go.
Just increased.
Oh my.
There you go.
Oh, something went up.
I was saying that ain't all you increased.
Yep, that's going to get us 14 views on the next video.
That's right.
Yep. We're tied with lanes now.
Why, you little kid, you. Our fans are half as excited as Lane was to dial in on Friday.
He was very excited.
Yeah, man.
We'll be doing all right.
Yeah. Yep.
We're doing all right.
And if only there would be half as excited it was Nick was for hanging up on him.
Yes.
We gotta go. Really bye. Sorry.
It was just a major joy in his life.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. It was nice to see.
Hold on, real quick.
Yes.
Nick.
Yeah.
Take you see the Marvel? I don't know. You're probably on your right. You see the Marvel thing? Is that right? Okay. Yeah.
Venom?
Yeah.
Now, all right. Look forward.
It's Venom.
Move a CH that way.
What?
All right, Brian. Do you see what I'm seeing? I don't know if he's where it looks like how TV shows have the big logo at the bottom.
Oh, the convincing idiots.
Yeah. It has that TV show logo. It looks like it in the bottom corner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's right.
Oh, you mean where it's positioned?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. All right. I was just visually messing around. So sorry.
Yeah. That's all right.
This is great for the people listening on the podcast.
That's right.
I have no idea what's going on. Brian, what are we doing? What are we talking about? What's going on? What are you talking about? You were saying something. You watched The Winter Falcon.
The Winter Falcon.
The Winter Falcon.
The Winter Falcon.
Falcon Soldier. Yeah. So, so this week we're doing other pop culture headlines. Okay, so that's what we're doing to properly introduce it.
We can just wrap it up. That ain't getting better than that.
Watch that show, The End. Yep. No, so I watched that on this week. I think we all saw it, the premiere episode.
We did?
I watched it this evening, actually, yep.
Very good. We're not going to get into spoilers and all that, but definitely some interesting things here. So I thought it was very well done. The first few minutes of the Falcon on that military mission was pretty awesome. I mean,
that's badass.
Shot you out of a cannon at the beginning of the show. So, yeah, and that was to get to see the Falcon in full battle mode.
Yes.
Falcon mode, right, and all the gadgets and everything that he had was very, very cool. I like the, Bucky, again, without getting into details, he has to, deal with his past, which is very good. I thought it humanized him pretty well. And for the Falcon himself, very interesting.
I liked how it got it kind of into his family life a little bit. You know what I mean?
The Falcon?
It answered a couple questions that I think a lot of people have. Like, how do superheroes make money? They literally asked that question to him. Like, how do you make money?
And the answer was they don't make
goodwill.
Money. Right. And it was like, wow. Yeah. You wondered if they had some type of a government stipend or something like that. And they never, like you say, they never got into it. And actually, no, they don't make any money from doing that. They just do it for the good of mankind or whatever it is. and they have to make a living somehow, some way, and he's trying to help his family and all that stuff. So that was like, wow, that was very interesting. Yeah.
I also like how they explained, and once again, it happened within the first few minutes that they say it, so it's not really a spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
But it explains how Bucky could just kill all these people and be like, "Oh, get back into society. You're all right."
Right.
But they explain that he has a conditional pardon.
Right. He has to deal with it.
Right.
He has to deal with it mentally, and he's all that stuff. So
the government has a few things, as in making amends with people, and
right.
I don't know if that was the government's issue. That might be more of the psychological thing that he has to treatment that he has to do.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed Montreal's finest George St. Pierre in the show. That was cool. Did you guys notice that?
No, who was it?
He's the guy on the ship there in the beginning, or on the plane or the copter or whatever.
Oh no shit! Was that him?
That was GSP. Yeah, I was like, that guy really looks like George St. Pierre. And then I'm like, and then I listened to him talk, and I kept seeing him, and I'm like, no, that is him. Yeah. And I looked it up.
Sure?
Okay. I looked it up. It is him. Yep.
That's
cool.
So
that was cool. I also, I'm so dumb, but I was like, I think it's neat that he has like a carrying case for the shield. Like, he had like a briefcase, like a zippered case to carry the shield.
Well, no, but cool. That's he got it from old Captain America.
Right.
Old Cap. That's what he brought it.
He had that
bench. Yeah, he unzipped it, and that's when he gave it to him.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, he got the case from old Cap.
Okay.
Which I have to assume is gonna make some sort of cameo in this in the series. Yeah.
I would say at least in a flashback.
Well, they've done those. They've done flashbacks of him sitting on the bench, because the Russo brothers did an interview, and they had admitted to that Cap wasn't always sitting there. They're saying that old Cap is from a different multiverse, a different timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he didn't just kind of wander into the park and kind of watch them do all that, watch himself leave. At least that's my understanding of what they were talking about. But they said that old Cap is from different multiverse.
Okay.
Yeah. They can do whatever they want.
Really.
I mean, when you're playing around with timelines and multiverses, you really have to forgive a lot of stuff. You have to kind of just let the story lie sometimes. Mm-hmm. Because I was watching Infinity Wars the other day. Or no. Yeah. And when they go and they kill Thanos, right?
Mm-hmm.
After the snap, they go and find him. He's in his bungalow. And they chop his head off, right? Spoiler alert. And then from a different timeline,
mm-hmm.
he comes in and wreaks havoc, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once again, spoiler alert, at the very end of Endgame, they make him disappear, he floats away, right? Shouldn't that have ended everything else? The snap wouldn't have happened, nobody would have died, because Thanos wouldn't have been there to do all that.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? I mean, in theory?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
But the alternate timelines and everything else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why sometimes that was my point, is sometimes you just got to go, because of story.
Right.
Yeah. We're trying to explain how a cosmic being made half the population disappear and bring them back, and try to overthink it.
Because of birthstones.
Right, exactly. Yep. And I like how the Falcon series this is a comic book. They again, another one that looks like they're definitely using the source material well.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a comic book series of these two together, or no?
No, what I mean is in the comic book series, I mean, there was a thing where Falcon had to determine to take on the mantle of Captain America.
Okay. You mean storyline in general? Okay.
Storyline in general, and then he did become Captain America for a while in the comics. And they also introduce, again, this is out there. It's not spoiling anything, but they introduce Kurt Russell's son, actually, Wyatt Russell, named after Wyatt Earp, I guess. I'm assuming, Dean.
That makes sense.
Tombstone, right?
Sure.
Is the guy that plays U.S. Agent. So U.S. Agent in the comics was another soldier. I think I don't know. He had some type of enhancements. I don't know if he exactly had this. He didn't have this quite. I don't know if he had the same super soldier serum where they replicated it somehow, whatever it was. But
you talking about at the end?
Not necessarily. We don't want to spoil anything, but but basically, it's not a big secret that there's another
Captain America
right. out there, right? So that's kind of
the government is putting out a Captain America.
Correct, right? We
and
don't know
the way the hat and the suit looks, it kind of looks like propaganda. The way they tried to do originally,
right.
The cheesy.
And also, if you notice, he's also carrying a gun. Which Captain, Steve never carried a gun.
Right. And then the suit looks similar to what they use U.S. Agent in the comics. It has sort of the stripe and the star and stuff like that. So, so he was around for, I don't know if he's still around the comics or not, but he was a prevalent character in the Captain America universe for quite a while. So he was Captain America for a while, then he became U.S. Agent, and he was around for quite a while. He was in different Avenger groups and things like that. So he was not the same man as Captain America. He was more rough and stuff like that. He's not Steve Rogers, but he was a good guy for a while. I guess I have to look it up to see if he's even still around. But anyways, I thought all that was interesting. So well done. Go ahead.
At the end, they had a lot of like in the credit scene. Mm-hmm. There's not a post-credit scene, but when they're doing the credits, there's like they're panning a wall with different paintings and pictures and stuff, like you would graffiti, or they paste posters up like in the 40s, and a lot of those were showing either people, if you look closely, there's people's names in the background, and some of them were some of the bad guys from the actual comics.
Okay, all right.
That's from cool. Both Winter Soldier comics and the Falcon, type.
Okay.
So it shows some people that'll probably be the big bad.
Yeah, then there was a villain, kind of a mystery villain. You don't know who he was. Looks like is it going to be Baron Zemo coming back? Well, Baron Zemo will come back. It's not a big secret. You can see it online, but Baron Zemo will come back. We don't know if it's the same guy or not, if he's been introduced yet or not to us. We're not exactly sure.
Or who was the guy in the park?
Right.
That picked the dude up and... Yeah, without spoiler, because that's kind of a... Yeah. So I'm not going to say, but who's that guy?
Yeah, right.
Or what is that guy?
Yeah. So I don't know about you guys, but certainly WandaVision, which we'll come back to talk about here next. And this, so far so good for Marvel TV.
Yeah, for this show, I was telling Dean earlier, I didn't really have an interest. I'm like, I don't know, if they're just going to start putting random people together or how this is going to work. But I'm like, I don't know that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier necessarily draw a lot of interest for me. So, but I watched it and I really enjoyed the show. I liked it a lot. Kudos to them. There's not a lot of, I don't know what kind of demand there is for this duo, but I found the first episode interesting. So, so far so good.
It's such a different take on the Marvel superhero. You know what I mean? You have, on the WandaVision side, you have the supernatural, campy at times, look to it. And then this you have, in the Marvel verse, the realistic side. You know what I mean? The cops and robbers and bad guys and agents. WandaVision, you're looking at sorcerers and witches and ghouls and whatnot.
Right.
So definitely different two sides.
Definitely for sure. For sure. And Marvel's been doing a good job, even in the movies, in humanizing these characters. You go back and look through some of these movies. A lot of them, as I go back and even reflect, felt a lot of pain and grief. A lot of them.
Well, they're
Captain America. Yeah, exactly right. Captain
which
America
makes
with
them
his heartbreaking-
relatable. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, because
heartbreak- sorry,
2 of the 3 of us are flawed human beings.
that's right.
So I mean, so it's very relatable.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So kudos, Marvel. We'll keep watching. If you keep putting stuff out like this, we'll keep watching and keep paying our subscriptions to Disney Plus for sure. So,
Right. I would say another thing that Marvel seems to be doing a really good job of is kind of blurring the lines between cinematic and TV. Like as far as the production, like you could very well. Like I was watching the very opening scene where the Falcon's flying through the air.
Yeah.
That's a movie.
And I'm like, this is
Sure.
motion picture quality. Like absolutely.
For sure.
I mean, just, and I mean, I guess we'll get more into it, but I feel like that's something that, for example, I mean, I guess it helps when you have Disney money, but DC does not do that with their movies. Like, it's not even in the same universe.
One thing I just found out, when Snyder went back and redid the Justice League, which we won't really talk about because not all of us have seen all of it. But one thing he went and did is he cropped the screen and did the 16.1, I believe, or something like that, instead of the expanded like theater thing. He purposely did that because he said most superheroes are flying up and down, and he wanted to capture that comic book panel feel to it. So instead of doing this, he went here so they could, close up. And I know we're doing audio also, so I got to stop using my hands. But instead of the wide span of the cinematic picture, he went to more of like a closer in to the sides.
It's giving you more length on the screen than width, basically.
Right, because he said because like Superman and Wonder Woman, they fly up and down, and just like the panels in a comic book, he wanted to kind of capture that feel to it.
Okay.
With this Justice League.
All right, we'll talk about. I'll be interested to get our opinions if the Marvel TV series was more entertaining than the 4-hour Justice League. I guess we'll find out.
I think I already have my verdict on that, but we'll we'll see.
I'm the only one that saw the 4 hours. Okay, never mind.
We'll wait. Yeah.
Next week.
We'll wait.
By that time, we will have all three seen all 4
weeks
hours.
When you guys are done. Right.
Next week.
Yeah.
Okay. So, any more thoughts on Falcon and Winter Soldier?
My final verdict is it started and is better than I was expecting. So I'm pretty happy.
Good.
Same. I think I expected, and I don't know, maybe it will turn into something like that. But when I watched the trailer for it initially and thought, this kind of looks like a buddy cop thing, or is that what this is going to be? Like that kind of dynamic?
I'd kind of be okay with that.
And maybe it will be, but I definitely liked the pilot episode more than I expected as someone that I'm like, I don't really have any, attachment to either one of these characters. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. Yep.
Good. All right.
What about you, Brian?
I highly recommend.
Okay.
We were very entertained. Absolutely. So.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, since we're on the Marvel comic book type deals, I sent you guys the link via our group text. How do we feel that possibly Robert Downey Jr. could be being added to the Star Wars universe via their TV series?
Yeah. Very interesting.
I like it.
I'm excited.
I like it. It's like they maybe play a villain, which I think he'd be great at.
I believe
Thrawn would be he'd be a great Thrawn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm all for that.
If it's well in that, he gets a chance to work with Favreau again. I think that's appealing as well.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
I'm down for that. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. It's why don't we take a breath here? Take a
pause for the cause.
Take a pause for the cause.
Yeah, some sort of fucking professional. Look at you. Look at you.
And then we'll come back and talk about WandaVision that we did not recap yet. So we'll kind of warn everybody here by now.
WandaVision. I'll just sing in the background. You go ahead and do your spiel.
Oh, that's good.
I just want to do background music.
I like it. So by now, we probably have seen the entire WandaVision series if you're a fan of this podcast or nerdy things in general. So We're just going to talk freely.
If not, when we come back, maybe skip a few minutes and check to see if we're done talking about it, because it's been long enough to where I think that we can talk about it at the end.
Yeah, it's been over for at least 3 weeks, eh? Like, it's been a while. So, like, that's good.
I mean, if you've read our description of this podcast and you said, "Oh, nerd stuff," I need to listen to them, and you're continually listening to us, and you haven't finished WandaVision, that's something's wrong there. So,
yeah, absolutely. So
it's a problem that I haven't finished WandaVision, is what you're saying?
You haven't finished fucking most things.
I have finished WandaVision, by the way.
All right. So a man has never seen a James Bond movie his entire life. I don't know.
Now, I did not finish them because I didn't start them. So
he doesn't even know what that symbol is on his shirt. People just tell him, "Oh,
something about a flashlight or something."
That's right.
Something, I don't know.
All right, so
it just looked really cool. Sorry, I'm just making fun of Nick. I just want to keep going.
You're allowed. Well, we'll keep making fun of Nick off camera. We'll take a break here for a few minutes, and we will be right back.
Help. Then bring it up.
All right.
Bring it up in 5, 4, 3.
And we are back. What?
Sorry, stuff shaking behind me.
You're ruining my damn comeback into thing.
More haunted hands. More haunted hands, I think.
Right.
In
getting touched all over the place.
4.
No. You don't get counted. No. We're already into it. We're back, people.
You did? You went with that?
We're doing this. Convincing idiots.
Then I'm just going to keep interrupting you. So we'll just keep doing that. If you don't
because he's unprofessional.
That's fine.
But we are.
Go right ahead whenever you're ready. If you want to talk about WandaVision, or
I want to talk about your handsome beard.
You go right ahead. Thanks.
What we're calling it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So
it's so nice to be nice. I appreciate when you say nice things to me. Go ahead. Start.
We are starting. You are as professional.
Like we already started late, and like it's like.
You know what? This. First of all, I'm. Oh
my God, guys! This is Convincing Idiots. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're 3 friends, and we're coming back. Is that so hard?
No, he just he did it on purpose so he could try to do his thing.
Okay, we're back.
We are back. Yeah. And Nick is an unprofessional butthead because once again we already determined in the beginning of this that I'm trying to be a better broadcaster.
Okay.
Yes. Cornelio. TP, put a big bug hole. So, we are talking about WandaVision coming up, right?
Yes.
That's on the docket?
That's right. So, entire series done. Been a couple weeks out, so we're just going to talk freely. If for some reason, as we warned you before the break, if you haven't watched it yet, you might want to fast forward a little bit, as Nick said, or come back and listen to this segment another time. But yeah, let's talk freely.
Nick has a TV next to him right now trying to finish it before we actually get to it.
That's right. Yeah. Between that and a hockey game on split screen or something like that.
That's honestly why it takes me so long to get through things. I have other things to consume. I have other content.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you have a lot to consume, all right.
Mm.
So, Dean,
what's the content?
What's your take, Dean, on WandaVision? What do you think?
I thought it was fantastic. I loved it. And just like the Falcon and Winter Soldier, like Nick had the same idea, is that it's two characters that I wasn't 100% sure. Like when you tell me, well, just like Mandalorian, when you tell me we're going to do a whole TV series about Mandalorian, I'm like,
that's true.
All right.
That's very true. It's hard to think back to the before times when you knew how fucking good it was.
Right.
Because when I was like,
language.
Okay, so I'm sorry. They took Boba Fett and gave him a new colorway, and like they're gonna make a series about it. Like what?
Right.
But gosh darn. I mean, really
golly.
good. Golly,
Golly gee, motherfuckers.
gee whiz. Yeah.
No, yeah, it is amazing how they take these off. I don't want to say off-brand or off-beat, but like the lesser characters, and made them so damn interesting and good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. WandaVision to me was, I loved even from the start of it, from when they started with the different TV shows and the different eras before they got into like the good shit of like the Marvel. You know what I mean? Just where it was almost like a mystery, almost like a Twilight Zone. That first two episodes it was like the black and white Twilight Zone, where like something was off, you couldn't quite tell what it was.
Sure.
Things were just, there's little things, little glitches, little things here and there. I mean, yeah, even from the beginning, it caught you. It definitely kept your interest, right?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like, why are they there? What's happening? This is not normal.
Right.
Is this just a whole bizarre thing they're going to do every episode? Nobody knew. And they kept all that. I mean, again, to their credit, they kept all that
under wraps. Keep it under wraps, yeah.
They had to, it was I didn't see any plot leaks anywhere. And I like the fact, too, that, some people have pros and cons if they release all episodes at once or not. And this was smart, I think.
No, I loved it. They only did once a week.
You had to wait, and it allowed people to hype it up and word of mouth. I mean, hell, just us sitting here on this show, we've talked about 2 Disney Plus shows for well over 30 minutes because of the quality and the production value and the writing and the characters. I mean, Disney's, they're not a multi-billion-dollar company for no reason, so yeah.
Right. Well, just like I was telling Nick earlier today, is that WandaVision had me like Friday after work, I was rushing home to watch it. Winter Soldier, I don't think I'm going to rush home. Throughout the weekend, I'll get to it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I will watch it. Sure. Yeah, WandaVision had me at Friday. I couldn't wait to get home. I mean, that was, what do they call it?
Must-see TV or whatever?
Must-see TV.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Right. Yeah, it was very much like the old TV
Friday
shows. Night. Yeah, you wanted to get home and watch it. And Mandalorian was that way, too. I think we all agree with that, right? So high quality. Sure, absolutely. So
Nick, it was every third Friday, right, for you?
Every third Friday.
3 of them in a row?
Pretty much. That's very accurate, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I really enjoyed WandaVision, obviously. It's very good. Also, I mean, obviously, it's we can all agree how accurately they depicted all these different types of TV shows they were emulating throughout the years. Mm-hmm. And absolutely. Even the thing that I really liked was just like the dialogue and the comedic value. It was funny in all the ways authentically that those shows were. Like when they were doing a Bewitched show or whatever, the jokes that they would make and things like that were very, tongue-in-cheek and really reflected the humor of that time when they did the one that mirrored like Modern Family that was in modern day. Like,
well, the Dick Van Dyke
comedy. Like
in the first 2 episodes, Dick Van Dyke was a consultant.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was on set.
How about that?
Wow, that's cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Did you guys watch the newest episode where they did the behind the scenes?
No, I didn't see that yet.
Oh, you got to watch it. Yeah, it's pretty kick-ass. Because what they did, especially for those first 2, or at least they showed for the first 2, for the 50s and 60s sets, they had there wasn't a laugh track. That was an actual studio audience they brought in.
How about that? Okay.
And they even set the studio audience and the chairs in the studio audience to replicate like the 50s. Like they went like to the max of like to replicate this shit.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it was really well done. I mean, all from head to toe. Also, like I know that, I mean, she's not some new up and comer, but Catherine Hahn, I believe is her name, the one that played Agatha.
Fantastic.
How awesome is she? Like, I love her in literally everything I've ever seen her in. Yep. She's just got a quality about her. She's funny and just fits different. She can work so many different roles really well. A quality about her. She's funny and just fits different. She can work so many different roles really well. Right. But yeah, she pretty much stole the show for me. Yeah. also like I don't know. There was just everybody. There was great performances all the way around. Did you guys?
And it's always good to see Deborah Jo Rupp. Is always fun to see.
Who is Deborah? Who did she?
The mom from that '70s show.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Okay.
She's always great.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. But yeah, did you guys feel? Were you guys satisfied with the finale, with the way it ended? Because I know there was a lot of theories of characters they could introduce, different villains, and they didn't. And I know the last episode kind of left me like, now I don't know, maybe I'm just not, I know I'm not, but I'm not as well versed in the comics as some others are, but like the White Vision or Cocaine Vision, as I've heard him affectionately referred to as, where does he go? Now he's actual Vision, right? He's his body. He's his actual authentic body that they piece back together. And
he's got his memories. So
right, but that's the point, is to not know. It leaves it open, right?
Well, okay. It brings you to the idea of the question of what is a soul. Okay, for human beings like Brian and I, we have a soul that has. Are we just memories, or is there something more tangible? Not physical tangible, but you know what I mean? Like, what makes a soul? I mean, we can get philosophical about it, but for the Vision, he's a robot, so his soul is his memories.
Right.
Now, and he has all of them back now.
Well, we'll see. I guess that's what we'll find out.
Right. Now, in my opinion, I think in time, when he computes these memories, it will form the original Vision.
Yeah. Now, and I like to see the white. And so in the comics, now this is years. So it's again another series that did a lot of the pay a lot of attention to source material. So in the comics, the twins turned out to be pieces of the soul of Mephisto, who was basically the Marvel Universe's devil, basically.
Correct.
And the Vision at some point was destroyed, and I can't remember who destroyed him, but he was rebuilt. Okay, but he was rebuilt, but he was just basically an android. So it was the White Vision in the comics was the Vision, but he did not have the memories of loving Wanda. Basically, he was not capable of loving her, and it caused a rift, and I think that's what ended their marriage in the comics, if I'm not mistaken. So something like
that is a problem for marriage.
Yes, absolutely, right. So, so we'll see what happens. So it's interesting. So he's there, but to your point, he's not. It's not going to be quite the same. So
something will be missing, but you saw he gave him everything. Like he gave him all of the memories. He gave him all of the feelings.
She let go of the Red Vision, the Vision that was him. That's who she had to let go at the end of this.
But that's
he's
on her.
There. Yeah, but that's not the White Vision. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where they take this. I'm sure they'll get along, but we'll see what happens. But
I want a spin-off series. Only for where he is befriended by a little girl in the suburbs, only for the simple fact that he can now go through the Marvel Cinematic Universe painted in crayon. Like she paints the red with the crayon, so it's all like crayon, looking like a child colored him. I think that'd be fun.
Okay. Sure, absolutely. So, well, yeah. What else? Were you surprised that the? Well, there's a lot of surprises, I guess.
Oh, Nick's question was, hold on real quick. Nick's question was the ending.
Right, yeah. Brian, how did you feel about the ending? Did you feel like it left things on the table that you wish were answered? Or was it more, you think that was maybe the point, was for them to kind of further the plot line? This was a storyline extender of sorts.
Honestly, I thought they set it up well. I liked the... she's now the official Scarlet Witch, right? So her powers are now at a whole different level. I like the suit. I like the, her costume being more traditional for the Scarlet Witch in the comics.
On display. The stuff.
Yep. And then at the end, you watched all the credit scenes, I assume. Did you see?
Yes.
So at the very end, yeah.
Well, it shows like if you have the bald wizard, the lady wizard, can't remember her name.
From Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Oh, the ancient one?
Ancient one. Yeah, that's the word. And Doctor Strange himself, when they do the astral projection, they're sleeping. They cannot be conscious when astral projecting. So when they're learning stuff, when Doctor Strange is learning the tech and stuff, it's while he's sleeping. It's kind of they're multitasking.
Okay.
She's up walking around, so
that's true.
Shows right there. She's on a whole new level.
Yeah, I like that.
She can like split her consciousness or whatever she's doing there, but she's on a whole new level.
And then certainly she heard the cries of the twins out there. So they're
in the multiverse. That's where she's going.
And the big rumor is, of course, a big rumor throughout the whole series was they were teasing Mephisto to come back and be the ultimate big bad.
Yep.
And he never made an appearance. But that's one of the rumors as well, that maybe the twins are stuck with Mephisto and she's going to have to go get him back and all that. And I read, we didn't talk about this, but I read that they shot, I don't know if you read this or not, they shot
the bunny.
Did you hear that? That scene?
Yeah.
So they shot a scene, Nick, where some people were, I think we even talked about it, that
it's not Mephisto though.
Was the rabbit Mephisto himself?
No, the director said it was a demon. Yeah.
Right. So at the end, in a scene that they shot, the rabbit became a demon that they had to fight or something like that or whatever it was. And they decided that's not needed.
And he said when it was what they were going to do was when the rabbit transformed, it was going to be like realistic looking, like Werewolf in Paris, or I don't know if you remember Teen Wolf, where like the sweaty and it looked, the face is distorting and pulling out, and instead of like being campy, it was going to like weird and creepy and realistic almost.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
That was the original idea, but they said it just didn't work for the direction they had to go, so they had to cut it.
I thought it was good. I don't know. I thought they ended it well, and
I do too.
I did like that. The grief that she portrayed and had to deal with. That felt very, very real. Throughout the entire series. I
think for a lot of people, myself included, is that you added so much into your brain of like what could be.
Mm-hmm.
Mephisto, Doctor Strange doing a cameo.
Mm-hmm.
And then when those little things didn't happen, you're like, all right, well, it was a good ending, but I would like to have seen this or that.
Right. I was expecting something more, I guess.
A bit more
and that's
twisty.
On me. That's just
correct.
It's, it's one of those things like I don't really know exactly what, but I just expect something like big at the end or whatever. But it was still very good. It was still a very well done series. Very good.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So sets up the multiverse very nicely. We have to wait. Probably the timing's pretty good though. Dean, the time Doctor Strange 2 comes out, we'll give Nick plenty of time to see Doctor Strange 1.
I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Anything else on WandaVision?
Your millennial smugness.
I thought you were gonna say something about me, like not liking the movie because I'm millennial. I was like, it came out like a couple of years ago.
No, your smugness and your your eyes and your Don't Brian me.
Anything else on that guy? I mean, it's again, you could talk about the performances.
Elizabeth Olsen is a fucking star.
Yeah.
I always enjoy Kat Dennings. Were you going to say Kat Dennings? I always enjoy Kat Dennings. I do. Yeah. Well, not
Evan
always.
Peters?
I didn't really like that show she was in, but
nobody
I enjoy
did.
Kat Dennings. No.
I liked how Evan Peters coming back and playing
that was fun
from the X-Men movies. Turns out to just be a neighbor dude. He was I guess his husband.
It meant nothing. It's not a multiverse thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they went as far as to call him Ralph Boner.
Right.
Yep. It's funny.
Just to be silly.
Yeah.
I guess we're just doing him a favor.
Yeah. That's funny.
Because he loved he wanted to be part of it, so they.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that was kind of dicking with fans too.
Yeah, that was very, very clever. Very, very clever to bring him back in. Teyonah Parris was great as Spectrum. You know.
She's something special too.
Yep, absolutely. And Randall Park.
Oh my God, too. I love that guy.
Yep.
Right, so some people said they want a spin-off series of him going out there with
just
finding stuff and just
those finding different not mutants or superheroes, just having different stuff like that. I'm all for that.
There's your buddy cop show right there.
Yes.
Kat Dennings, Randall Park. There you go.
Because that dude is we talked about it. Actually, we probably did it off air, but the time he's having with WandaVision, and he's doing the Young Rock show.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just killing in the ratings, I guess. But
he was on that Fresh Off the Boat show. I don't know if you guys
he was great on that too.
That was a good show. It was funny.
Was good.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. Very good. Hard to top. So we'll see how Falcon and Winter Soldier does here. But
it's apples and oranges.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Both tasty. Both make a fine juice. Both are easily you can put them up in you, but they're just two different fruits.
Yeah, that's right.
Fruits.
That's right. That was Yep. Another.
That one caught me off guard. That was good.
Your insurance segue was better. So okay. So that's a couple other pop culture headlines here. So last week, guys, we talked about NFTs.
Yeah.
Right, which again is a non-fungible token, which is basically a way to take electronic art and use technology, blockchain technology, to show the owner of that digital property.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so there's a nice story in Time magazine online. I'm not going to go into all this stuff here, but it just talks about the boom of this type of art, and some people.
It's good. Hold on, real quick. It's good that he said online, because like with the way it looks, he looks like he would get Time magazine in the mail.
Yeah,
licking his fingers, turning pages.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It is a lost art out there, you kids. It's a feeling of a good book. So one thing we talked about, a big story last week, was somebody bought a $69 million
nice
NFT by this artist Beeple, right?
We only said nice for the number 69. Am I correct?
It's a good number.
That's
it's
right.
A nice number.
That's right. So we were wondering who the heck would buy this, and is it really art and all that? So we had a nice discussion on that last week. So this story goes into that a little bit more, that it turns out that who bought that piece was a collector group called Metapurse. So it's two anonymous Singapore-based investors who have been experimenting with tech-driven collective ownership models. In January, they bought 20 Beeple artworks, and they placed them in a virtual museum that can be visited for free, and then fractionalized their new enterprise into tokens, which are now co-owned by 5,400 people. So Dean was asking, is any of this traded publicly? How might that work? Is Bitcoin's going to be involved, and this and that and the other? So that's what this group is doing, and their value has since increased sixfold as of March 16th. So the duo is considering a similar move with their latest headline-grabbing purchase, which they hope to display in a cutting-edge virtual museum. And the idea is to open up both the experience of art and its ownership to everybody. So are we seeing perhaps the verge of virtual museums where you can view art owned by other people, electronic art that's owned by other people? And they also talk about some of the comparisons that we did as well with, cards and everything else, where it's a similar type of thing to where, somebody values a piece of cardboard with a certain player on it for millions of dollars over this. So we'll see. So some people speculate it's just the current fad that's going to blow up. Some think it's going to bomb out.
Sure.
But it is interesting to think about potential virtual museums where you can pull up and look at digital art that's owned by other people out there. So interesting trend. Go ahead.
Yeah, you remind me so much right there of like when my son talks about Pokemon, and I'm just like, I know you're speaking a language that is relevant here, but it doesn't compute.
Yep.
That doesn't. It's just weird. It's a. I don't know how to equate that to. I guess it's just the way our brains are hardwired with tangible things for so long that like that just doesn't make sense to me.
That's right. That's what a lot of people can't get. That's you're right. Some people feel the same way.
Like,
they can't get their head around.
I
own a authentic prototype, convincing idiots pint glass. I can hold it in my hand, and somebody may value this at whatever and want to then hold it in their hand and display it and everything else. And obviously, with all this, you can't do any of that other than prove that I own this digital piece of art.
I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about being in on a waiting list to get, I think they were called Hot Shots or Top Shots, something like that, Pop Shots, whatever. They're the digital NBA cards.
Yeah.
And to get, they were in a waiting list to get a pack of these digital cards. And the one dude was like 29,000 something of 30,000. He was so close to the end, and he's like, I'm not going to get a pack because they only have a certain amount to go out or whatever somehow, even though they're digital. And then he was talking about a buddy that he had that did get a pack and made tons of money because he sold off each of the cards for like a shitload of money. And I'm like, I can look up a picture of a LeBron James trading card, and it's the same thing. Or like, I don't know if you guys play many video games these days, but like I play NHL or NBA, but like if you play in the league modes or in the online, you build your own team. And like you get these packs of cards. Every so often they'll give you a pack of cards, or you can play so much and get experience points, and then you open up a pack of cards. And sometimes you can get a card that's a legacy edition of Wayne Gretzky if you're playing hockey, and you can play. Then that means Wayne Gretzky is now on your lineup along with players of past and present that you've accumulated cards of. So it's like that, except it's not even interactive at all. It's just, other than you having it digitally. I don't know. It's just it just doesn't kind of. The cables don't meet there for me for some reason.
At least with that digital Wayne Gretzky, at least you're playing a game. At least you're getting some sort of
right. You can play as him on the game. Right. Yeah.
Right. Sure. But as far as the digital artwork and the digital displays or museums or whatever you want to call it, I don't. As of right now, we have spent. America and the world has spent last year in quarantine, so we've all learned these virtual this, virtual that. We're doing this on Zoom. You can type in any museum and you can go tour that. You can tour the Louvre virtually. When this is done, it's going to be a hard thing to get people to do anything virtually for a while.
I think
everybody's going to be burnt out going, no, we did that for a year. We did a lot of it. We need, there'll always be a place for it, especially for like schools and stuff. So I guess there's always going to be a place for it. But I think for the most part, people are going to be so fed up with like virtual shit by the end of this.
Yep. It's very possible. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, is it different, like, buying these digital things and reselling them, or is it different than having, like, stock in a company? You don't actually get anything for that, but the value of it rises and falls with whatever the value is, and you can sell it, or you can hang on to it, or you can, but you own it, even though that stock is not a tangible thing that makes any difference to you physically in life other than the value it holds. I guess it's kind of a stock, really.
Okay, what makes that different than it is the same as like your 401k. It's investments and stuff. But also look at all of us with our money. Until we physically get it out of the bank, it's just a number this computer's telling me I have.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
We're just trusting this computer to do the math and say this is you have. I don't want to brag, but my bank account is pretty high. It says you have $33, and I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I got $33. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I know until I get? Well, they won't let me take out $33, but still.
But yeah, because you don't have that much. Sir, we've told you your account says $3. There's 1 3, not 33. You can only have 3.
And then
boy, was your face red, very literally.
And then they point out there was just chocolate sauce on the phone where the decimal point was, and yeah, it was very embarrassing.
Well, with all this stuff, we'll see how it is. But if anything positive here, one thing they do mention in here is that there are people out there that are taking time to create art. Mm-hmm. And previously, they may not have made money, or at least this type of money, or at least the ability to make this type of money by creating digital art. And now there's well-known, obviously, people, we've heard this name a few times. There's other people out there as well. Black Sneakers is another person, and there's a few that you can find it online out there, but there's some actually very cool
good on
digital art. Yeah, so they're making some money.
Like I said last
for
week,
their time.
It's a good gig if you can get it.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so enough of that. So we'll continue to watch how that goes and if it bottoms out or not. The Oscar nominations came out recently.
What do we got? Who's nominated for an Oscar?
Yeah, Mank was the big film, and that had the most nominations. And that was about
never heard of that.
Yeah, it's about the man who co-wrote Citizen Kane, that old movie. Yeah, so it's a movie about a guy who wrote a movie, basically.
And it's like one of those movies that like everyone says you have to see, but everyone also knows it's the most boring movie that you have to see.
I don't know.
But now we need to see.
I mean, the
movie about someone who co-wrote that.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say is I was bored one night. I was here alone, and instead of porn, I looked it up and I watched Citizen Kane.
How was it?
Good. I masturbated to it just the same as porn, but
awesome.
No, but Citizen Kane actually, it was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be bored with it. I thought it was going to be like just a 40s, typical 40s movie. But no, I enjoyed it.
Very good.
Why?
I mean,
the story was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could have easily have, and this is the way I take a lot of movies from like that era. Could you remake it scene for scene in color with today's actors? Maybe change a little bit of the verbiage to make it, instead of saying automobile, say the word car. But you know what I mean? If you just adapted it to today, would it still work? And yes, this movie would work if they adapted it to today. Once again, I didn't think it was like the greatest thing to where like everybody's one of the greatest cinematic pieces. I didn't put it up on there, but it was still okay.
Yeah, it's no fucking Jingle All the Way, that's for sure.
No.
Right.
So Nick, it started. Orson Wells, you might know him as the guy that did the "Will sell no wine before it's time" commercials. Remember those?
Nope.
As a kid? Okay, forget it.
All right. Better yet, Orson Welles was the voice of Optimus Prime in the Transformer movie.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. The original Transformer was Orson Welles as Optimus Prime?
Not in the TV series, but in the movie.
Wow.
Those aren't the same voices?
The movie, the 80-something movie?
Yes.
The 84 movie.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The cartoon movie.
Okay.
And also, Nick, I know you. I don't know if you actually listened to it, but you are aware of War of the Worlds?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I know who Orson Welles
radio
is,
broadcast. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. So, I mean, the one thing about the Oscar nominations is it was.
I fooled my brother with that once.
What?
On a Halloween, we were in high school. I heard that one of the local radio stations was going to be playing War of the Worlds, the original broadcast. So I went. I made sure he was in the room, and I made sure that it was like a few minutes into it where the disclaimer, because they weren't going to play commercials. It was going to be all the way through. It was Halloween, and I turned it on. I had him for at least 20 minutes.
How old?
That's great.
We were in high school.
He'd never learned like what they didn't. You guys, he didn't know about.
He's an idiot. Yeah, he's an idiot. Yeah, I had him for about 20 minutes. Believing. The only reason I had to like give it up was because he kept wanting to turn the TV on and stuff, and I was making excuses. Just let's listen, Yeah.
No, the aliens got it, man, and they don't work anymore. Radio's all we have.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm pretty proud of myself.
Wow,
that's great.
That's a good one.
That's great. Okay, so the one thing about the Oscars, wrap this up here, it is more of a diverse nomination nominee group this year. Some say, well, is it because not as much content came out, so you can do more of that, or are they trying to change their ways? Not sure, but the fact remains it is more of a diverse group of nominees. There's a female director of Asian descent nominated for the first, I think, it's the first time or not, but definitely one of the few times, and then an actor of Asian descent, the guy that played Glenn on the Walking Dead series, if you know who he is, so he's nominated. Anyway, so that's something that some people are certainly excited about, which is good. So hopefully that trend continues, and we'll see. I'm not overly interested in the Oscars this year. Normally I do watch it, but I'm not as excited because of the overall the content, I guess.
You mean the diversity?
Not the diversity.
Back in my day.
Yeah.
It was Orson Wells or bust.
That's right. Rosebud or bust. And then, Nick, you and I at least watched there's a new documentary from 2020 on Netflix about the demise of the Blockbuster franchise.
Yeah.
One Blockbuster store left in Oregon, so kind of centered around that store. Still in business to this day.
Yep.
Looks like what you remember a video store being. It looks terrific. And, kind of the bad business decisions that Blockbuster made and just the lack of capital to ultimately compete with Netflix. They had the chance to purchase Netflix for like $50 million.
They laughed at them.
They laughed at them and said, you get out of here. And Netflix is now worth like $350 billion.
Netflix literally made a documentary about how Blockbuster.
Well,
there's one left.
Netflix didn't
just in the description. It just says "fuck you."
Yeah.
Netflix, I don't think actually made it, but they sort of purchased the rights. to it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought it was. I was thinking it was an original. Yeah.
Happily.
Yeah, and it was interesting because at the time, so Blockbuster knew they had to compete and to do something different, so they brought some guy in that had this knowledge. I can't think of his name, but there was a time.
Is that the guy they were talking about? There was the guy that invented the cheesy gordita crunch for Taco Bell. Was that guy?
Yes.
I want to kiss that guy on the mouth.
That's right.
Hold on, wait, what?
Isn't that interesting? Is that
the guy who invented the cheesy gordita crunch is the same guy who did what?
The guy that brought the cheesy gordita crunch to Taco Bell to they needed some new ideas for things. This is a guy that Blockbuster hired to revamp some of their, to compete with things like, on-demand movies. There was a Blockbuster on-demand service. They had a DVD by mail service, things like that. Wasn't it that guy, Brian? There was a few names in there, but I think it was that guy they were talking about.
Yeah, I think that's right. So you're right. So Blockbuster was doing competing things with Netflix to, like Nick said, so you can get the DVDs mailed to you at home at the time and do different things. They were setting other things up to, and at the time, Netflix had more capital and Blockbuster did not, so they couldn't quite take it to that next level.
Right.
And they just couldn't do it. So Netflix did it, and obviously,
sure.
The rest is history. So, but it all come back and made me reflect. And so the video store experience. And I hung in there with video stores for many, many years, even though streaming was becoming more popular. We had a local video time store in my area, and there's still some lingering family video chain stores around the area.
Family video just went down.
So they're all out of business now. Okay.
Yeah, I just went and got a shit ton of their movies when they did the whole liquidation stuff.
Okay.
I got a whole bunch of them.
Do you miss, from your age perspectives, do you miss the video store experience? Why is that?
As a teenager, like Friday nights, going to the video store, you know, of course you had those moments where you run up to and you see the video the DVD or whatever that you want, and there's not one behind it, so it was not a plastic case behind it. It meant you couldn't get it. But yeah, that was such a great time. Because, you know, that's followed up by like pizzas or Taco Bell or... Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we always, we had, so like, it was at the, Coventry Plaza, we had a Blockbuster video. It was right next to a pizza shop. It was perfect. It was the perfect setup.
Yep.
Go get a pizza from A Guild Pizza is what it was called, and then you had the Blockbuster next door.
That Guild was good pizza.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
But God, yeah, man, I loved, like, even before Blockbuster got big, we had one in town in Barberton called Roadrunner Video. Roadrunner used to go there. You can rent video games. I used to rent Sega Genesis games there and stuff like that.
The porn section in the back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and they talk about that on Blockbuster too, how they didn't have the adult section and stuff like that. They were trying to market the whole family-friendly experience and all that stuff. But God, yeah, and then, you know, Brian, you watched it as well, but they even talk about the way they all smelled. They all had that, you could just see so vividly that blue carpet in a Blockbuster and the TVs on the wall.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, man, I missed that like crazy. And I'm watching it, you know, with Robin, and I'm like, man, I miss this. And she was like, why? Like, I don't know. It's just the nostalgia.
It's the experience of it.
It's the same thing as like I can find whatever I want. Exactly. There's things that I want, and I can find them on Amazon for cheap. But, you know, it's fun to go to the mall and find something. I don't know. It is the whole experience of it. But yeah, man, like, I really enjoyed the documentary. Definitely missed that whole vibe and going and picking out candy. And, you know, even, hell, I used to just peruse the aisles and without a certain movie in mind.
Sure.
You know, I would just be like, this looks interesting. Oh, here's a thing with Matthew Perry in it that's an indie film that I've never seen. I'm going to rent that. You know, Nick, I don't know, whatever.
And then Nick is because of your interest as a teenager or a youth, you know, the internet wasn't readily available and there was no streaming or downloads. So you could go and like rent any WrestleMania. Like they had the section for wrestling. So you could go and get any SummerSlam or WrestleMania, and they had a whole big section of it. So as a teenager there, you had that option too.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then, I mean, they started renting video games and stuff like that. That was cool. You used to be able to rent consoles, like the actual systems for a little bit. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. And like the one they even touch on that too. They're like, it's so crazy to think that we used to like rent stuff, and if it was a new release, it was like, this one has to be back in like 48 hours. But this one's due back next Tuesday. And you had to like, you know, you constantly be making trips back to the store because, well, I got to watch this one because it's due back in 2 days. And then, I don't know. It's just,
but
it's
it was
nostalgia.
Brilliant. I mean, because you're back at the store. I mean, you're going inside. So
yeah. You're making multiple
since
trips,
I'm here, maybe that one video that wasn't there might be here. So since I'm here.
Yeah. I miss just leaving for something. And then like when I started driving, like my mom or dad being like, hey, if you're going out, will you run this back to Blockbuster to the Dropbox? You just drop it in because it's due back tonight or tomorrow or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. If you say this to somebody who didn't grow up with it, they're going to be like, that sounds terrible. Why would you want to do that? I can sit at home right now and find whatever. I know it doesn't make sense. It's just you had to be there. It just was.
It's like explaining them a library.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, there's still libraries now, but that's just where homeless people like poop.
In the kids section of libraries.
So you have been to Barberton's library.
But you're right. It's a whole human interaction thing. The ability to pick up a movie, look at it, read about it, all that stuff was great. I mean, on streaming, they're trying to at least separate it by, I want to look at random horror movies, and they do mix it up. It is kind of a pseudo video store in that respect. You can read about them. So they're trying, I guess.
Yeah.
But
and one thing I do appreciate about streaming is like, I like the tabs of, because you watched this movie, here's a bunch of things that we think are similar. And like, that's interesting. That's you know, the algorithm that is specific to apparently a taste that you have. So yeah, that is cool. I mean, I get it. But yeah, dude, I definitely miss like going into a Blockbuster and renting a movie. And that whole thing is. I think everybody gets a little nostalgic about their past. We gush over our, adolescence all the time here and things that we grew up loving. I mean, I think that's what it is. You romanticize the things that you grew up with. If you enjoyed parts
like your
of your
uncle's
childhood,
touch,
things like that. Exactly.
Mhm.
Nothing beats it.
Nope.
Or nothing beats me like it. Whatever. Anyway.
Ooh, well.
No, but the nostalgia of it, and it's when you reflect positively back on your childhood, it's definitely something you miss that you don't have anymore.
Yeah, I like the one guy in that documentary is probably around my age, around 50, it looked like, and it was just his routine.
Mm-hmm.
He lives within walking distance of that local Best Buy.
Yep.
He
Blockbuster
plans for Blockbuster. I said Best Buy. Blockbuster. Thank you.
Same color scheme, very similar.
Right.
Actually, very similar.
That's true.
The ticket, yeah.
But he walks down the street. The staff, they know him. He talks to them about. He gets recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
He rents the stuff. As the I don't know this all that I think is
He's like the norm of Blockbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like that what's that guy going to do without that experience? I don't know. So
right.
Anyway, so we'll
now.
But they're not going to come back though. I mean, there's nothing they can do.
No.
That model is just not going to work anymore in this day and age. It's too,
right.
Let alone the pandemic. But it just people's not going to put forth that effort anymore to go out to people. It's just not as convenient to sit home and not interact and just order what you want. So anyway, go ahead.
And even we were you can get nostalgic all you want, and they even talked about it there. There's a kind of a mini little people rally around that Blockbuster and things like that, and people want there might be a desire to get that back, but like you said, it's just I think in my opinion that is too big of a hill to climb. You're not gonna, like you said, beat the convenience of a Netflix or something. But one last final thought on that documentary, and if anyone else has seen it, and Brian, you've seen it, I'll ask you the question. The woman that they spotlight that manages that final Blockbuster, are you in my thinking of that? God, I hope that woman makes a good amount of money for all the shit that she does. Little background, Dean. This woman that manages this last Blockbuster, so they used to have a contract with Dish Network. So when Dish went out, they bought all of their obsolete computers and used them for parts. So literally, the computer in the store that they use to rent out movies in the database, she strips parts off of these computers by herself. She's got all these dusty parts. She's fixed. She's the IT department. She runs the store. Her entire family has worked for the store. She goes out and buys the candy to restock. She goes and buys the new movies from Target and Walmart to keep on the shelves. I'm like, I hope this woman makes a lot of money. Like, I hope whoever owns this Blockbuster takes good care of her, because
now
this woman does everything.
Is the corporation, franchise, whatever, of Blockbuster, are they still in business? Or is she just using the word Blockbuster, the name Blockbuster? Or
no, their contract was renewed. Right. They're like on a year-by-year basis.
So the corporation of Blockbuster still exists?
I guess whoever owns it, whoever owns the rights to Blockbuster, so far, up to this point, has year by year continually extended their contract with that store, because she talks about what happens if they go under, and some people were, there was some famous people or some semi-famous, probably Kevin Smith is the most famous, I would say, person they interview for this documentary, but some of them were saying, man, if I were her, I would keep going, and I'd just call it Video Store and keep the same blue and yellow and keep the same ticket stub thing, and just replace, take the name off if you have to, and whatever, just make it still that same vibe, and keep going with that.
Just change the O to an I, like Blickbuster.
Right. That's Yeah. It's good idea.
All right. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so last clip here. So I have a Jeopardy answer for you. Dr. Oz.
Who is a quack?
That could be correct.
Okay.
Nick, do you have a guess?
Who is the most popular Jeopardy host of all time?
Incorrect.
Sorry. You've lost all that money.
You're close. Seems to be probably the least popular current Jeopardy host of all time.
Damn it.
Dr. Oz. Yeah.
Damn it.
I just had fun reading some clips about people hating, that. Yeah, we don't need Dr. Oz hosting Jeopardy. Just get rid of that, in my opinion. So keep moving. Okay, that's what I got here, guys. So we've go ahead. Any final thoughts? Anything?
I just real
guys?
quick, and I don't even know if this is were you guys fans of the TV show Scrubs?
Yeah.
Until it got crazy, last
well,
season.
everybody that you knew was gone.
You don't even count that season. But they're going to be on Family Feud.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because the Zach Braff and Donald Faison have a podcast.
I like that.
And their podcast is going to go up against Neil Flynn, the janitor, and his improv group.
Excellent.
Oh,
so
okay,
that's going to be this summer. So
nice.
Very cool. Very cool.
It just popped in my head. So
awesome. Excellent. Okay. Nick, do you have any other final interesting topics or anything for you, sir?
Nah, dog.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up here, guys. Then we've talked for quite a while here. Some good stuff, good topics, good conversation again. So
that's debatable, but
yeah,
we'll let the fans decide.
That's right.
We were interested in it.
We'll let Matt decide.
Yeah. Well, Matt, what do you think?
We get 2 likes. One of them is Matt. Nick, do you want to remind the folks where we can be found out there?
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook or YouTube by searching for Convincing Idiots, or you can go to Twitter and follow @ConvincingIdiot. I shouldn't say and also go to Twitter and follow @ConvincingIdiot. Also, be sure to go to Instagram. That is @convincing_idiots. We are also on TikTok @ConvincingIdiots, or we can be reached via email at convincingidiots@gmail.com. Also, feel free to ask your home assistant device to play the Convincing Idiots podcast, and they will do so, as we are found wherever you enjoy your podcasts. So, for another episode of Convincing Idiots, cordially, I am Nick.
I'm Brian.
And I'm the Dean.
Sorry.
Have we convinced you to revitalize the home video rental industry with us? Oh. Maybe. Cheers. Be kind, rewind.
Okay.